Supports are the characters that everyone wants in their team, but not a lot of people want to actually be that support. It takes a special dedicated soul to put themselves at risk for the greater good of their team, being the silent guardians. The ones who pick that octane back up after jumping headfirst into a 1v3 for the 5th time this game. So hello everyone, I'm your hostess with the mostest, 8 Second Gaming, and today I want to honor those support players by giving you a beginner's guide to playing Lifeline. Quick disclaimer, as I said, this is a beginner's guide. We are going to go over her abilities, playstyle, and some tips for positioning and her overall. This isn't an advanced guide where we deep dive into every single little detail. That video will come later. This is more for people trying to get a feel for the game and want to be a support but aren't too sure who to look to play. With that being said, let's hop into her abilities. Starting off, we have her passive. This allows Lifeline to revive her teammates without having to actually do the whole res animation. She lets her drone do that so she can continue to fight and make sure that her team is safe while they reset. This is the ability that makes her so annoying to fight and can easily win those fights. This may change in the future, but as of right now, you can actually do the battle res on 2 of your teammates at the same time. So if both go down, you don't have to wait for the other to get up in order to tap the res again. Hit them both and have them back up and fighting in no time. This is Lifeline's main use to the team and is why she can never be the first one to go down in fights. I will cover this a bit more at the end of the video, but you really need to be good at putting yourself in spots to succeed. And speaking about putting yourself in good spots, if you are enjoying the guide so far, please do us a huge favor and drop a thumbs up on the video. Also, if you want to continue to get these amazing educational videos, you'll want to definitely hit that subscribe button. Though hopping right back into Lifeline, let's talk about her tactical ability, and that's the Dock Drone. There's really not a whole lot to talk about this. It's just a drone that you place down and that gives you health while next to it. It does heal you very quickly, so you'll want to remember to use it during fights or immediately after to save yourself from third parties. It also can heal multiple people simultaneously, so if you and your team is low, you can all make one big cuddle puddle and get heals together from the drone. Do be careful though, because the drone can work on enemies, so if you get pushed off the drone, they can then hijack it to gain back whatever damage you may have done to them. Also look to use this on teammates that you are using your passive revive on. As soon as they come up, you can drop the Dock Drone on them and give them a nice boost of health to get to new cover or not to get downed right after. And last in her abilities is her ultimate. This is a care package she can call down in order to give her team some nice new attachments or heals. The care package does drop smart loot, so you or your teammates will get an upgraded attachment or armor from it. If there are no upgrades, it will drop more heals or even a survival item like a mobile respawn beacon. This does come down a lot faster than a normal game loot drop does, but it gives an audio cue as well as a visual one, so it does open you up to some teams coming after you. If you are going to use this, look to drop it when you first come up to a location that you plan on looting. This way, as it falls, you're not just standing around waiting for it. Once it's down, you can loop back around to get the items and be on your way. Also, if you are at endgame, you can drop it to give you and your teammates some extra cover. I've seen some nasty plays pulled off with these and can honestly win games with the protection that it provides. On top of that, if it drops a mobile respawn, you can get even more cover from that when called in, giving your team some extra real estate to play and peek from. Lifeline doesn't have any mobility options, so being able to think outside the box with your abilities can give you the upper hand and make it so you're not just a revive bot for the squad. Now that we've covered her abilities, let's talk about what kind of playstyle you want to have. And for that, you'll want to have a full-on support mentality. Your job is kind of like the lineman on a football team. Do your job and make everyone else look good. You aren't the star of the show, you provide cover fire and help your team. You aren't the first or second into fights, you're always the last. You can never ever be the first one to go down in a fight, because then you've lost all your usefulness to your team. Some characters' abilities persist even though they are down. Lifeline is not one of them. You need to be there for when your teammates go down in order to get them back up and in the fight ASAP. You'll also want to run a good loadout to help you in this. You can't be all close range with shotgun SMG because oftentimes you won't be in close range. Your best option is to run a shotgun and pair that with either an AR, marksman rifle, or sniper. This gives you close range for when your team needs to take a spot, and also long range to poke and provide support for your team when they aren't right next to you. And last up, let's talk about your positioning. This will be going over where you want to be on rotations and in fights. On rotations, you always want to be right next to someone, usually not your mobility character. So if your team is, say, Wraith, Bloodhound, Lifeline, you want to be next to the Bloodhound constantly. This gives you the best opportunity if a team catches you off guard. The mobility characters like Wraith can just phase out and leave you alone. An alone lifeline is a dead lifeline. You have zero mobility and can get singled out very quickly. Sticky with the Bloodhound, you can hold a spot and then try to get a knock or a crack that your Wraith can then push up on. And then you transition to your fighting position. And for this, you want to be in the back holding a solid spot for your team. This gives them an area they can fall back to and heal or reset in case something bad happens. This provides them a safe space as well as you pumping out long range cover fire to help deal some damage. Once your team is confident you want a full on ape, you can then push up and swap to your close range gun to help finish the fight. Again, here you'll want to try to be next to the Bloodhound or whatever character in your squad you can keep up with. That way you can team shoot and be there to support. And the last thing I want to talk about is protecting your downed teammates. When playing Lifeline, you'll find that your teammates get thirsted way more often than normal. That's because your combat revive is basically planting a sign in them that says come and thirst me. In order to stop this, you'll need to be able to pump out massive damage to stop teams from pushing up on you. As a Lifeline, you always want to be confident in fights so that you can make sure your buddies are able to actually get up and take advantage of that res. If you find yourself not being able to save them most of the time, you may want to look into playing other characters like Gibby for the bubble res. That is going to be all for this video though. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Lifeline is a fantastic character to play, especially in lower ranks, to help you jumpstart your rank climb. If you have any questions around Lifeline or her kit, please drop a comment and I'd be happy to help. I love answering questions about Apex. And again, just before I go, if you did learn anything or I inspired you to play Lifeline, please drop a like on the video. It really does help the channel out. And remember to tap that subscribe button and ring the bell if you want to be notified when new videos come out. We post daily Apex Legends videos aimed at making you the best player you can possibly be, so that you can climb and carry your squad. Once again, I'm 8 Second Gaming and I will see you in the next video.